And we're live, baby. Yo, what's up, everybody? Yo, this is the In Your Face show. And yo, I'm coming to y'all live with my main man, the good man, my Latino brother,
Hola, mi
Nicholas.
gente.
Nicholas, Nicholas Ortiz. What's up, my brother?
What's going
Introduce
on, man?
yourself.
Hello, everyone. Hola, my name is Nicholas Ortiz. How are we doing today?
Okay,
Mm.
they should be here, but go ahead, do your thing, man. Do your thing.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. Like all
uh,
Latinos, they're going to be 30 minutes late. That's fashionably late. Don't worry about it.
I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. So, bro, yo, I got a couple questions that we gotta get to, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, yo, tell us about the word "con fuego." What does "con fuego" mean?
With fire. Con fuego means with fire.
Okay, "Jugando con fuego."
There you go.
What is this movie, y'all? I keep hearing about.
Oh boy! Well, this is an action thriller that myself and my production company, Deviant Children Productions, collaborated with Robert Samuels, Hong Kong legend Robert Samuels, and his production partner Robert Jefferson at R4 Films. We linked up early last year, January of 2021. Planned out this whole movie to shoot in Tijuana, Mexico. And then in the summer of 2021, in July, we all flew down there. And for 2 weeks, we decided we were going to make this kind of epic action movie extravaganza. And now that it's out on VimeoOnDemand.com, we're happy to share it with everybody, and they can finally see all the hard work that we put into it.
Okay. So, you being Latino,
Mm-hmm.
okay, is there a lot of Latino filmmakers in Hollywood, or is there like limited Latinos here?
It's as I would love to point out that there, despite Latinos making up like a good part of the population in the U.S. alone, which is one of the biggest filmmaking markets in the world. Unfortunately, just Latino representation is incredibly low, and that's for on-camera talent. Obviously, there's lots of names we can roll off for people in front of camera. Obviously, ones that come to mind: Jennifer Lopez, Gina Rodriguez, Leslie Grace, and so on and so forth. Anthony Ramos, all these names that I could just kind of start to rattle off. But in terms of behind the camera, like in filmmakers or stuff like that, the number is very, very, very small. So there's not a lot that I can point to.
Which is fine. Things
Yeah,
change,
yeah, things change. They take time.
Things take time to change. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And I think that the world it's all evolving. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And
Yeah.
it's more diverse too, because you're starting to see a lot of Mexican, a lot of blacks, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
mixed races,
Absolutely.
and starting to get that shine that they, what I'm saying, like how Latinos and blacks used to be in the back, and all the predominantly white used to be in the front.
Mm-hmm.
That's like most. See, that's why it's like in comic books.
Yeah.
You don't really have a lot of Latino or black superheroes. You don't really have
No. No.
those,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I'm added on to. I'm stuttering, so don't mind
No, man, you're doing great.
But
No, I'm with you.
but nah, as I was saying, is that comics, like the comic part, when it comes to, you don't really see a lot of diversity
Mm-hmm.
in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you would see in certain other industries, like in the movies industries and the comic industries. I don't know if people noticed it, but it's a lot of white folks that's, white in the
Yeah.
front,
Yeah.
the main character,
Mm-hmm.
but it's
Absolutely.
a lot of Latinos and blacks in the back, just supporting
Mm-hmm.
character. Well, that,
Yeah.
to me, that's evolving. That is
Yeah.
changing, because as you can see, a lot of there are a lot of blacks and a lot of Latinos and Spanish and Italians and all those
Mm-hmm.
people are
Mm-hmm.
making a grand move to getting stardom in these movies, and I'm looking forward to it.
Oh
I
yeah,
actually,
I'm absolutely for it.
yeah, me myself, I actually love action movies and horror movies and comedy
Mm-hmm.
because if you notice, a lot of that, the action and horror and comedy, you know what I'm saying? It makes you move. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
moves you.
Yes, it
You
does.
know what I'm saying? If you see a good action movie, wouldn't you want to get up and drop kick some damn body?
Yeah, every single time.
Exactly what I'm
Every
saying.
s- every single time I watch an
Right.
action movie, I'm like, oh man, I just want to fight somebody. And then my wife is like, all right, well, take the trash out first before you start doing anything. All right.
That's what I'm saying. You know, and like, okay, Victor Wolford said, any suggestions for authors looking to get optioned or at least present ideas?
Authors looking to suggest ideas to publishers, to
Yeah,
filmmakers.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh wow, what's a suggestion? What's a good suggestion? Well, I mean, you know, honestly, you could do the tried and true. I mean, sort of true, tried and true. Just cold messaging. Try reaching out. I've found that the community, at least the filmmaking community, on social media like Instagram and even Facebook, tends is a kind of an open community. I've had people randomly email me with script ideas and story ideas, and I've always tried to come at it from a position of, hey, they're looking to me because they see me as an inspiration, and who am I to crush their aspirations? So I'm going to try and help them as best as I can. In fact, recently I got an email from someone with a script idea, and I had to like put them through the paces of like what a pitch to a studio would have to go like if they were going to go about it that way, because that's a skill set that you have to learn when you want to do something like that. I would suggest the same thing for authors, is just like try messaging. You know, like the worst that thing that happens is that they don't reply and nothing changes,
Right. And if
you
you
know.
and not this is what I learned by pitching ideas to big publishers.
Mhm.
You got to have your stuff trademarked and patent
Yes.
and copywritten because they will
Yes.
steal it. And
Don't
that's
give them the whole thing, yo.
yeah. I learned because when I was younger, I used to want to send my stuff to Marvel and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
I found out that what you do is you don't send your originals. You send like your like like the stuff that, like, for example, like you don't send like your inks, your original inks and stuff like that. You send like your what do you call those things? You send like the
It's like your
not the
sample work.
exactly sample
Like
works.
sample works, yeah.
Yeah, you send like stuff that you're sending portfolio. You send your
Portfolio.
portfolios and stuff like that.
Mhm,
You know, a lot of that stuff, if you send that stuff, if you send your original stuff to them,
mhm.
they're going to send it back. And if they're assholes, they're going to copy it.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
They're
yeah.
going to
If
steal it.
it's worse, it's in fact, if they send it back, it's like, okay, you're fine. But if they don't send it back, then
You
they've
fuck.
taken the idea, and yeah, yeah, pretty much. Pretty
Yeah,
much. Yeah.
and, you
Same
know,
thing. Same thing with filmmaking. Don't give the whole thing away. Don't just randomly send your scripts out, which is what happened in this case. And I wrote back and let them know. It's like, listen, don't do that. You know, producers will see an idea, and if they think it's $1 million idea, they will keep all one every single one of those dollars to themselves, and you will not see a single red cent. So you have to protect yourself in that respect.
yeah,
But doing like portfolio stuff, samples of your work, spec work, which is a common thing that is done in film and TV, where you don't show them an advertisement for a thing that doesn't have an advertisement. You make your own version of an advertisement that doesn't necessarily need it, but you just let them know that you are capable of putting together a piece of professional work.
yeah,
Yeah.
because a lot of that stuff can get jumbled up and a lot of them are
Mm-hmm.
busy.
Mm-hmm.
But
Exactly.
I would say, you know, because if you're going to do that, if you're going to send that shit in,
Mm-hmm.
please keep it copywritten. Because if you
Yes.
do not, your stuff will be your stuff will be in the next movie, or your stuff
Hmm.
will be in a comic per se, in a comic sense. Your stuff will be in the next Iron Man issue number
Mm.
599. You know, and
Wait, are we hinting to something that's happened?
I heard some things.
Oh, okay.
You
I'm
know,
not gonna have
don't
to. I'm gonna have to check
can't
out this. Okay.
can't
I was
talk
like,
about that. Can't talk
oh
about
boy,
that.
I'm gonna have to
But
go get that issue of Iron Man now.
don't,
Oh boy.
you're gonna do it. You're gonna get me in trouble.
Just
Nah,
reading it
fuck
like
that.
it's
Oh
there.
shit. Oh shit.
Damn.
Let's get it.
Let's go.
Yeah, he said it. But nah, though. Kristen Schrammstack said, "Yo, swag, what's up, baby? What's up? What's up? What's up?"
What's up?
But yeah, bro. Another question for me. When it comes to being a filmmaker, do you
Mm-hmm.
get those? Um, because when it comes to being a filmmaker, bro, do you get
Mm-hmm.
those stressful nights and like mind blocks, like those writer's block, basically?
Mm, yes. On everything too, because it's not just writing. It'll be producing, it'll be location scouting, it'll be wardrobe, it'll be color grading, post production, sound effects, music. Every single time I make a project, I am fighting all 101 demons that are waiting ahead of me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and it's doubt, and it's all of it. Like my insecurities come out in an army over the hill, ready to take me down, and I have to fend them off every single time I work on a project. So yeah, absolutely, all of it is a struggle. Some days are easier than others, like any art, right? Like some days I'll be like, oh yeah, I feel like, and then there are some days where I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I'm lost. I don't know how
Right.
to answer this question for you.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it's a real thing. So it's more common than I think people realize, and it's harder work than I think other people realize too. Everyone kind of likes to see, like, they see the glitz and the glamour. The movie's out and it looks great, and they see pictures of us at premieres and in red carpets looking all swagged out and whatnot. And really, what that is just the reward for just not jumping out the window at any given moment in between.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
So like, let me ask you something. Like, do
Mhm.
y'all do your own stunts, or do y'all have stuntmen?
All of the performers that you saw on, at least in my projects and a lot of our other projects, are all trained professional stuntmen. So our choreography team for Jugando con Fuego is Team One Take, which is Hector Soria and Orlando Cruz. And those guys have worked on a multitude of shows, from I think Luke Cage to The Equalizer most recently. And so, like, these guys have been doing it for 10 years at this point, almost 10 years, I want to say. And they're good friends of mine. And when we were talking about this project, it was a great opportunity to work with Robert Samuels, who comes from the Hong Kong Sammo Hung, Colin Chow days of Hong Kong cinema. He's worked with legends. He's best friends with legends. He'll like talk up somebody. It was just like, oh yeah, I was having a chat with like Andy Chang, who was the stunt choreographer for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings most recently. And I was just like, and he's talking about him like you're talking about like your best friend that you've known for like years and stuff like that. That's what it is. So
That's
for
awesome.
to have that wealth of talent at you know at our disposal was invaluable. Bobby did a majority of his own stunts. In fact, if you think he did all of them, in fact, there was no need for a double. And every single one of our guys is a stunt professional. And then we hired a local stunt team down in Tijuana, B Squad Acción Productions, run by Angel Brophy, and they've been doing some great things for the action scene in Tijuana specifically. They worked with most recently with Michael Jai White and Art Camacho. So it was great to be surrounded by such talented, physically capable individuals.
Awesome. Awesome, man. So we have another comments. We have, to filmmakers, I have 5 books on Amazon. We
Mm-hmm.
got you. We got you. We got you, brother. And he said
Congrats.
it's all about perfection. Well, yes, because any project you do, you have to have a great presentation. Because
Absolutely.
if you do not have a great presentation and you just put it out anyway, anywhere, just any old way, it's like a it's like impressing a girl. You know what I'm saying? You want to
Hmm.
have that impression. You want to, impress her. You know what I'm saying? You want to just be yourself, but add that own little season salt, little salt up in that motherfucker. Some
You should be the
ingredients.
best version of yourself at that time. That's
Basically
what
what
you
I'm
should
saying.
be. You should be the
Add a
best
little
version of
salt, a
yourself.
little season up on that motherfucker. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? Season.
yeah.
But you know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? But not as I was saying though, it's just about presentation. Take that time to put into your presentation. Like
Mhm,
stand in the mirror and act as if you're in front of millions of people and you're
mm,
presenting an award or
mhm,
presenting something that you're presenting,
mhm,
and just do it as if you're presenting something, and that'll give you a way of basically just being able to perform in front of people. Because I it's been where a lot of people is afraid to stand in front of people and present what they got. You know what I'm saying? Because people look at you
mhm.
before they look at your product. They
Yes.
look at you before they look at your product. And
Mhm,
what I mean by that is like this. It's like this. Okay, if you go to a convention, right, and you're presenting your own movie, you know, he said, yes, season it. Of course, you damn right. Season that birdie, that chicken. You don't want to eat no non-seasoned chicken. That's some nasty shit. But nah, but as I was saying, you want to you want to stand firm, and you want to have confidence in what you're saying and what you're doing. Because if you do not have confidence, they will look at that and they'll be like, this guy don't have confidence in what he's saying
mhm,
and what he's doing. So we're
mhm.
just going to bypass them, and they're going to go to the next person, and the next person going to get your what you've been waiting for.
Right,
So you
right.
got to
Yeah.
have yes, you got to have confidence. You have to just speak up, be able to speak up, and be able to articulate what you're saying, and know what you mean and mean what you say.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
And be
sure.
able to,
You are as much as your brand as any branding you
yes,
could
it
come up
is.
with.
Mm-hmm.
I am as much of a piece of branding as my production company logo on my screen right now. Like that is I'm probably you're the best business card ever
Basically,
because
yes.
you can share as much or as little information as as you will. No
Right.
business card can do it, so you have to be the best version of your business card, and always
Yeah.
and having that care and having that attention to detail is always going to put you head and shoulders above anyone else who don't have that same thing. If you're expecting things to come your direction just because, oh, I do it, so therefore it should come to me, no, you have to show regularly. It's like, hey, not only can I do this, not only am I capable of doing it at a high quality, but I am myself am a great piece of branding in general.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
Right. And that's why when it comes to being great at what you do, you have to, when you say that you're great,
Hmm.
you have to know it, and you have to perform under saying that you're great.
Yeah.
Yeah, your words have to line up with your actions, and your actions
Ab-
have to line up with your words.
Absolutely.
And you have to show what you're made of.
Hmm.
Because people will test you. I
Yes,
can't
they will.
stand that. Like, they will try to pull your card to see if you really about it.
It-
But
it's unavoidable too. It's
yes, they
anywhere
will.
you go, it's always going to be there. There's always going to be somebody who, for some reason, they just want it. They want to test you, and the
Hmm.
goal is to be like, okay, you got to be able to stand up to that test.
Yeah.
And then when you move up a level, there's going to be a new person who's just going to do the same thing. And
Hmm.
so you got to use.
Hmm.
It's going to be another thing. But by the time as you go higher and higher up into the upper echelons of whatever industry you find yourself in, you'll find that you'll be able to handle those tests a lot better.
Exactly. And see too. I got this going to lead up to a question that I'm gonna ask
Mhm.
you. The question I want to ask you is, where was the worst person you dealt with while doing a film doing a film? Like, what's
Oh,
yeah, the worst person you've dealt with? Like was they egotistical? Was they very self-centered, or was they like, I don't want to do it like this. I want to do it like that. I want to do this. I want to do that. You know, and they didn't want to do it your way. They wanted to basically do it what they wanted to do, and you just wanted to walk off so bad.
oh yeah, I've been there for sure. And were they any of those things? Yes, they were all of those things. I was found myself on a project where I was brought in to direct, and the creator and the team behind the creator were, you know, at first everyone was very grateful because it was a project they had been working on for a very long time, and they were looking for help to kind of get it done. They came to me. I said, you know, look, I took a look at the previous work. I said, sure, yeah, no problem. I'll happily come on. You know, brought my crew on with me, brought my gear with me because I was coming in at a higher level than what they were previously used to. And by the end of the shoot, man, me and my team were just like, I cannot wait to never work with these individuals ever again. You know, it was ultimately, and it ended with me just essentially like walking away and telling them that they can finish the project themselves. Cause, you know, I was sacrificing my free time. I was, you know, sacrificing, you know, time, not just, you know, time away from work, but time with my wife. I had just gotten married at that time. And it was so bad. They were messaging me while I was on my honeymoon in the Dominican Republic.
Oh
And
shit.
the day the day after I got home from my honeymoon, I was on set helping them finish their damn project.
See.
And you would think that would have bought me some kind of like, oh, okay, he's doing all this. It's like, let's let him do his thing when it comes to like finishing it all up, and having multiple discussions about like, let's do something that's great, let's do something right, let's gonna do something that's gonna make you guys look good. And it was like, no, we got to get it out now. And it was, ungrateful, narcissistic. I don't ever want to deal with those individuals ever again. But unfortunately, I realized that those people and those types of people are run rampant throughout the film and TV industry.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because like, and we got a lot of those like in the industry. Period. You
yeah,
know,
they're in every
and
industry too. Yes.
yes, they are. Oh my
Uh-huh.
god. Like oh my god, you let your ego get so big, man. And
Mm.
and Robert Jefferson said, "LOL, haha."
Oh yeah, Robert Jefferson knows exactly who I'm talking about too. I refuse to name them, not because I fear legal reasons, because they don't have any kind of legal ramifications. I just don't want to bring attention to their brand in any way, shape, or form. So any opportunity I can take attention away from that brand, I absolutely will.
And that's cool. That's
Mm-hmm.
the best way,
Mm-hmm.
because if you look at it like this situation, you know what I'm saying? All right. Victor Wolford said, there are a few people who truly appreciate your efforts. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
And like those people who follow you, who really just people like, to be honest, the people who you interact with and you really show them your character, who you really are, will actually love you, you know what I'm saying, and really support you in everything you do because they appreciate the person that you are.
Mm-hmm.
And see a lot, and that's what the industry has messed up with, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like this, like you focus so much on talent rather than the person's personality,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And it's either talent or you're gone, and it shouldn't be like that. You know what I mean? Because be honest with you, there's a lot of talentless people in the industry,
Oh yes, yes,
a
there are.
lot of them, and I'm gonna just say it, a lot of them got in the industry
Mm-hmm.
by sleeping with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
sucking somebody,
just
doing
being
things.
just being related to somebody, like
Yeah,
nepotism is such a crazy thing. It's just like, oh, you already had an in. There's so
yeah,
many people like, and it's unfortunate too, because they don't even realize that that's an in that they already have. It's just like, oh,
right.
like your parents have been doing this for a while, and so like just on that name recognition alone, you're already
Mm-hmm.
like 20 steps ahead of the person behind you.
Mm-hmm.
And they
Mm-hmm.
were like, but I still had to work at it. And it's like, yeah, sure. I don't have no doubts that you're going to put the work in, and that doesn't mean that those individuals are bad people per se.
Right.
But what they should recognize is that when it's like if your career is a 100-meter dash, they're already on the 25-foot line
Exactly.
where you're
Exactly.
starting at
And
where anyone else would be starting at 0.
exactly. And you know it's crazy too?
Mhm.
They have it given to them.
Oh yeah,
Right
oh
in their
yeah,
laps. And
yeah.
you know what's crazy? In the comic book industry,
Hmm.
you get that too.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of guys who don't have to work for what us indie guys have to work for. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's like in the podcasting, you know, and like I told you on the phone
Earlier. Yeah.
conversation,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who are coming in with
Hmm.
their following.
Hmm.
They don't have to work hard like us people without a following.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And to be honest, they have it falling in their laps. You know what I'm saying? But then again, and I think about it, I'm like this, you
Hmm.
know, I'm happy I don't have it handed to me because I get to appreciate it. I get to see it grow instead of it being already grown and I
Right.
don't have no power over it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
For sure.
yeah, like you have something that somebody else grew
Hmm.
and basically you have no power to sit it down, turn it off.
Hmm.
It turns itself off, you know. And it's crazy because people go off on your audience instead of following you and seeing the shit for grow from what it is, you know.
It's yeah. That's very much a real thing when when I've applied to be like a brand ambassador for like a company of some kind, maybe sometimes equipment. One of the first things they ask for is like, well, what's your social media? Because they want to look at how many followers you have at that moment. And it was just like, okay, yeah, I don't have necessarily the size and scale of followers that someone who is an influencer has, but that doesn't necessarily that shouldn't negate me really from being able to express an opinion on a piece of gear, and how it might apply to independent filmmakers and how they would utilize that gear, and that information could be useful to somebody.
Right. And see, this is the thing too. See, this world is all about influence,
It's all about who you know.
meaning and that's why, that's why the world is so rampant right now
Hmm.
because you got the wrong people influencing civilization.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is like this. You got people who don't give a fuck about people influencing your children to do shit that they wouldn't tell their children to do.
Hmm.
And if you get where I'm coming from,
Yeah.
look at the world around you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at the world around you. They're telling your child, or if you're a grown ass person, you're allowing a person to influence you to do something that you can do yourself, or you can do. You know,
Hmm.
like come on, man. Like
Hmm.
I would never influence a person to do this or do that. It's
Right.
their choice because you can't force nobody to do anything.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And what I learned is that use your influence for good instead of
Yeah.
bad, because what a lot of these people were a lot of people are following people who have not worked for it. It
Hmm.
was given to them.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Like fell into their damn laps. You know what I'm saying? And notice that the people that have worked for their accolades at what do you call that word?
Accolades. I think you were
Yeah,
close.
accolades, the
You were close.
accolades,
You were close. It's fine.
the accolades,
Hmm.
people who have worked for that
Hmm.
and deserves it, they get shitted on. But the people who have not worked for it and people who have done X amount of things to get there
Hmm.
get all the adulation. get all the love. And I'm
You
like,
know, and like we said earlier, it's not solely in film and TV and or comics. It's in a lot of industries. There's a lot of people who are effectively failing upwards,
right,
and it isn't fair. And you know, I've experienced it, a bit of it myself. You've obviously been through it, seen examples of it yourself in your own perspective. Um, you know, but that means is that we just got to keep on trucking and keep on
hell yeah,
doing what we
hell
doing.
yeah,
And then once we are at the place where we've always wanted to wanted to be, and we've worked hard for it, we put that, you know, then we have a greater appreciation for it, like you said earlier, because it's like, man,
right,
it's like, you know, tending a garden and you finally get that first tomato to grow on that plant. And you're like,
exactly,
that is like, this is going to be the greatest tomato ever because I spent so much time turning the soil and then making sure that there was enough water and everything, and that they got plenty of sunlight and all this, and it's worth it. And it's going to be worth it in the end.
right. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why when it comes to knowing what you know, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying, and doing what you're doing. Me, when it comes to this, when it comes to comics
Mm-hmm.
and doing these shows, I put my all into it.
Yeah.
I go crazy doing it because it's like this. I know the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna get there sooner or later. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna work my ass off. I'm
There
not
you go.
gonna kiss nobody's ass just to get where I want to be.
Yeah, I
That's
don't do
not no, hell no. Hell no. I refuse to do that. I refuse to
that.
bend over backwards for no, for nobody. No, because
Know your worth. Know your worth.
exactly. Because at the end of the day, it's like this. If you if you come up so fast, you're gonna have a hard fall.
Mm.
The hardest fall you have ever had. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people never and it's a lot of people who haven't been through a hard fall or rock bottom.
No, this is true.
There's a lot of people who hasn't been through rock bottom.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is they haven't had a hard fall and hit the head and been out for a while.
Yeah.
What I mean by hit your head, that means dealing with financial issues, dealing with, you know, situations all around you, things crumbling in front of you, things around you just falling apart. There's a lot of people who don't have that. There's a lot of people who live in this bubble. They don't want to. They had it given to them,
Mm-hmm.
so they're like, well, I'm just climbing up to the top. Oh, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Climbing up to the top, right?
Yeah.
As soon as
Like,
you're born out the womb, you got it destined to climb up to the top.
yeah, this is no, like I said earlier, is that some individuals are already starting the race at the 25-foot line where everyone else is at the 0-foot line, you know? So
Right. And that's
it'd be like that. It's an unfortunate consequence of the world we live in today. I would love to see it change in my lifetime.
me too. Yeah.
Hope maybe towards the end of it, but maybe then in the future for whatever my children decide to do or my children's children decide to do with their lives and the next generations that follow us. Hopefully it becomes the new norm for them.
True that. True that.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a question, right?
Go for it.
Do you feel that bringing your children's children and children's children into the would you bring your child into the film industry, or would you just tell them to go another route, or would you put them there and say, go, do your thing?
Ooh, that's a good question. Here's what I would like to think that I would be. My response was like, listen, if this is something you want to do, then I'll support you in it. In terms of like, I'll cheer you on. But if you're expecting to coast on the fame that I've built for myself by then, I was like, I would say I would steer them away from that. I'd be like, listen, if you're gonna chart this path, it's got to be your own path.
Right,
You
right.
know, you got to do it your own way, because you have to be your own artist. You have to have your own voice. If you follow the path that I laid for you, or if you're gonna just walk in the same path that I did, everyone is always going to compare you to me, and you don't want that. You want you to be compared to no one else except yourself.
Right. And it's not good living in people's shadow. It's
No,
not
yeah,
good.
that limit. It's we've seen the dangers of people who are stuck in people's and the shadows of their forebears. Parents and famous family members and any of that stuff. It's just like they will forever for the rest of their lives always be known as this person's put in whatever qualifier you want. Son, daughter, cousin, uncle, all that other stuff. It's only the ones who have done it for themselves and who have charted their own path. They're the ones who, obviously they're very, they've been able to do it successfully. Like Nicholas Cage is, the nephew of Francis Ford Coppola. Francis Ford Coppola being a very famous American director. Nicholas Cage is a very famous American actor. If you didn't know that information that they're actually related, you would think it would impact them. But no, Nicholas Cage, changed his name, took his own path, and now he is, probably gonna go down as one of the most eccentric and eclectic performers that we've ever had on screen in the last 25, 30 years. And he did it on his own. So
Right.
that should be that's a good example of somebody who was able to chart that path without the need for the nepotism to help them out or the connection to help them out. He was like, okay, I'm going to do this on my own. And that's why I would encourage my children to do it. It's like, listen, chart your own path. Whatever my children decide to do, whether they want to direct or whether they want to act or something else. But if they want to do it directly in film and TV, I would absolutely encourage them to do that, but they would have to chart their own path.
Right. Mm-hmm. Hold on for just a second. Hold on.
Sure. I'll take.
Yeah. Robert Samuel said, "Thank you, brother Nick. You are one of the best directors I've ever worked with."
That Bobby, he's a charming guy. That guy, I think it's interesting that he's saying that I'm one of the best directors he's worked with. This dude has worked with Sammo Hung, and I'm like, who am I? I am but a boy from the Bronx. And he's like, "You're the best director ever." I'm like, dude, that's embarrassing, but I'll take the compliment. Thank you, sir.
Well, hey, take them as you get them. Take them as you get them.
Yeah, get those flowers while you can, man. Gotta get those flowers while you can.
So, Mr. Nicholas, my brother,
yes.
What was the biggest film that you've ever made in your time in the film industry?
The biggest film, it would definitely be this one. It would be Jugando con Fuego because, we're talking, international location now, filming in another country. You're talking lots of stunts, where gunfights and knife fights. Filming with an international action star in the form of Robert Samuels, working with a large cast and crew. Yeah, this was probably one of the biggest projects that I've done in the entirety of my career. Awesome. It was great. I got no complaints. I would love to do it again with more time and money, please. Thank you.
You said facts. Oh, okay. So when it comes to being Latino,
Mm-hmm.
Do you get those racial, racist assholes always trying to beat you down because you're Latino in the industry?
I personally have never had that particular issue where I think if anything, it's, let's see, I'm gonna make sure I'm going to say this correctly. Let's see here. I've never had an issue with my ethnicity being at the forefront of a problem. If I've had any issues anywhere, I think it was more just kind of like a clash of personalities, and I can't speak to whether or not there was a racial component to begin with. The large majority of my career, I've worked almost exclusively with other people of color, so I can't speak to whether there was a racial component with any of the disagreements I have. It certainly wasn't one, even on the issue that I brought up earlier with that one project that I absolutely detest. That definitely wasn't a racial component at all. So it's never really happened to me. However, as we we move into spaces, and those spaces tend to be more dominated by one or more very specific ethnic and racial groups. I don't doubt that at some point it will come up.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, so and I'm just, but then again, it's like, have I dealt with that mindset the entirety of my life? Oh yeah, absolutely. So I'm ready for it. Like, there's nothing they can say or do that I haven't heard or dealt with, since I was cognizant of what was going on around me.
I'm sweating.
I could like keep wanting to like just kind of dry my head here.
Yeah, that's why I keep moving my head. Like, oh man, because I got the ring light on me and it's radiance.
This radiance is like it's making you sweat. Yeah, yeah.
Sweat.
I have like this fan going on in the background, just trying to move the air, and I'm like, I probably should have put it a little higher. It's warm in the office tonight.
But nah, so when it comes to, like, man, was there ever an emotional time during film?
During filming of any of this particular project or any project in general?
You said bald heads gotta have the towels.
You gotta have the towel. Yeah.
You gotta have a towel, man. You gotta have a towel. This shit is terrible.
Yeah, that's what I should sell on a merch store. I should open up a Deviant Children Productions merch store and then sell like head towels.
Damn towels, right, man. Like cooling towel. Towel.
I need a towel. Need to cool down. Man. It's hot.
Use this to wipe your head off. If you got a bald head. Nah, man. Like, yeah. So what was the most emotional time during the film? Doing films.
What's an emotional
doing a film?
Doing this film, yeah. Emotional time during a filming. I like to keep my emotions in check on set because as the director, you're the leader of the group, and I think it's important for overall morale, that everyone, as long as they look to me and they see that I'm not sweating under pressure, they'll be like, okay, maybe we got this. Internally, I'm screaming all the time, every time. I'm running around like a chicken with no head, mentally, like, okay, how do I figure this out? In terms of an emotional time, let's see here. There was one hiccup. Wasn't necessarily a hiccup. We were having an issue around a particular sequence in Jugando con Fuego, and I found myself outside of the set, like looking down at the ground, just like trying to like beat the idea that would fix everything into it. And Robert Jefferson and Orlando Cruz and Robert Samuels all came out, and they saw me over there with my shoulders slumped over, and they were like, "Uh-oh, his posture is all wrong. This is not good. His posture is never wrong." So they came over and they started talking, and in that conversation, the solution to the problem came up. And what made that particularly insightful for me was the fact that it's like, yes, I'm the leader, but that doesn't mean that I always have to come up with the best idea. It takes a village. And so the best thing is that it's like, okay, yes, this person came up with this idea. That's exactly what, or another person comes up with an idea. As long as it's a great idea and it works for the movie, then we'll go with it. It doesn't matter who it comes from. And then I realized that it doesn't matter who comes up with the idea, because at the end of the day, I'll stick at all the credit for it, and it makes me look great. So I should be happy with that then.
Right. So this brings me to my next question.
Yeah, go for it. This is good.
I know. See, I asked the craziest, awesomest questions.
I'm ready for it.
So, is there a time where you had to look to your belief system for guidance on the film?
Ooh, look to my belief system or my guidance on a film. Oh boy, I don't believe so. I would like to think if it did happen, I would remember such an kind of significant event in my life there.
Okay.
But I don't believe it's happened to me. Has it happened to you? Has that something like that happened to you in any respect?
I want to say numerous of times,
Oh,
because
okay.
sometimes it gets to that point to where you have to perform under the pressures,
Mm-hmm.
and when you're spiritually inclined with God,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of have that spiritual warfare, and the spiritual warfare is waging, it's waging, it's
Yeah.
waging. And when
Okay.
stuff seem to, when you get, because me being in a comic industry,
Mm-hmm.
and if any comic book artist is watching, you know what I'm about to say. I know you've had artists drop out in the middle of a book, and you
Mm-hmm.
had to pick up another artist, and you had to pick up and then that is, during those times, was the hardest times, because you have to in the middle put your head together. And me, when it comes to me, I turn to God, because that was the only
Okay.
person that can help me through that. Because at the end of the day, I can't do nothing without him. On some real shit. Like,
Yeah.
you can't just tell me, uh, you're living this life, you're breathing without him. No, you're
Right.
not, because his breath is your breath. You're breathing
Okay.
his breath. The oxygen around you is his breath.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to, I use my belief system and my faith through everything that I do.
Yeah.
Why? It's because I want God in everything that I do, because it will grow, it will go smoother and move at a militant way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying you're not going to have any hiccups. I'm saying that you're going to have times where things are just breaking down. Things are just breaking down, breaking down, breaking down.
Mm-hmm.
And, people are falling away from your project,
Yeah.
and they thinking it's a burden. It's not a burden. It's
Mm-hmm.
just them getting spiritual warfare. That spiritual warfare will get on people, and it just fall away. That's when it comes to, you don't have the right people that's going to stand in line with you.
Yeah.
And that's what I was telling Jose
Yeah.
yesterday,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that you have to have the right people in your projects, because if you do not have the right people, they will turn on you, and they will walk away from you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They will walk
That's
away from
real.
your product. They will turn away from you. And
Mm-hmm.
not saying that they will cause physical harm, but what I'm saying is they will walk away from the project and they won't pick it up back
Yeah.
up. You know what I'm saying? So you have to pick up somebody else around on the fly, and that shit is hard, because if you've built a rapport with one person,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to pick up somebody that does another skill,
Mm-hmm.
that does the same skill as that person, that shit is hard.
It is.
It's
It,
very hard, because you
yeah.
gotta you gotta do it on the fly. And say, like, for example, okay, you have 100-page book,
Yeah.
and you have to have it done by, I want to say, December, and you started it, I want to say June,
Okay.
but you're in the middle, and you're at September.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell do you think you're gonna get those done without finding an artist?
Yeah.
Finding another artist, or another writer, or another colorist. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I had to deal with, because I was young. You know what I'm saying? And I was still young in the game. I'm
Yeah.
still learning. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know certain stuff. I was just becoming a businessman. So
Yeah. I
some of
gotcha.
those hiccups came from me. Some of those hiccups came from another person. So
Yeah. Yeah.
shit happens.
It's a learning process, and there's always going to be trials and tribulations. And I think that's great that you were able to go into your faith and find that resolve to keep going and know that everything's going to be okay. And I think that's a beautiful thing that you can share with us today. It's wonderful.
Yeah, man. Because at the end of the day,
Mhm.
I want my people that's listening to this.
Mhm.
You're stronger than what you are, but without God, you're nothing.
Mhm.
I'm just going to tell you the truth. Without God, you're nothing. Without
Mhm.
God, your project is not going to happen. Without God, your shit is going to fall flat on its face. And I'm just being honest, because if you noticed, if you have that extra push, people without God, they eventually fall.
Mm.
People with God, they never fall. They never fall on their face. Yes, they may fall, but they never get knocked out. People without God, they get knocked out and they stay down.
Hmm.
Think about it.
Okay.
And I'm just saying, on a understanding, when you get hit by when you get hit by a boulder,
Yeah.
when you stay down, or would you get right back up and keep fighting?
Obviously, the answer would be to get back up.
Exactly. The
That would
answer
be
would be,
the answer would be to get back up. But
yeah.
some people, for some reason, that boulder was too great, and it overwhelms you. It
Some people are not
overwhelms us all. So
Yeah,
maybe
some people are not. Yeah.
take a
Go,
breath,
go, go.
take a minute, get back up.
Yeah, and I didn't see. I know a lot of people. Spirituality is a tough um question and a tough thing to talk about, but
Mm-hmm.
you need to talk about the things that are tough so that you can get through those tough days ahead.
Right. Okay.
You know, because it will be tough days ahead, and it will be days where you want to give up.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be
Absolutely.
days where you want to just say, "Fuck it, I don't want to do the filming shit no more because it's not moving." There's going to
Yeah.
be days where you feel like this shit is not moving, where this shit is just stagnant.
Yeah.
But 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 see, the thing about it is that people don't understand is that, and the spirit is moving. The physical, it's stagnant. Why is it stagnant? Because because the spirit hasn't come to the physical yet.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Okay.
If you're a spiritual person, you would understand. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get up off of that because I know. But nah,
Can I get an amen?
amen.
Hey.
It's a little nervous, a little nervous, a little nervous. People are nervous, but nah.
Another talking religion.
But nah, though. But for what I'm saying is that, okay, I got another question for you.
Yeah, go for it.
Another question. So, when it comes to, have you ever felt during a film
Mm-hmm.
that, like, was there any goofy moments, any bloopers during the films? I had to hit the bloopers. Man. I had to.
Are there bloopers? Yes. One thing I can say about my sets is I don't know how we get anything done because we are constantly joking and laughing and just having the best time ever, just being around each other. And, for me, it's important that everyone have fun. It's like we're here to work. We're here to put in some time and some effort and some blood and some sweat into it, but it should still be fun. It should still be enjoyable. And I am the main source of the fun, of the goofiness on set. Like at any given moment, I'll just start cracking jokes, and I
Right.
think that puts everyone else at ease too, because it's just like, okay, cool, we're it's going to be a good time, and keeping that looseness again is like, as a leader, you have to look out for the morale of your team and the people who are looking to you to guide them through this journey that is making a movie. And if you present not only just strong leadership, but but also a sense of enjoyment in the work, then they can enjoy the work too. Everything trickles down from the top, right? That's how it is. So if I'm portraying positivity and assuredness, then even the person all the way at the end, the PA all the way at the the bottom of the rung, has got positivity and assuredness in themselves as well.
Hold on for just a second.
Holding.
Uh, 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 uh. Sorry about that.
Yep. And now it's the Nicholas Ortiz Show. Thank you, everyone, for showing up and your comments and compliments. I appreciate you all. Should I be like singing music at this point? Let's see here. Got here. Oh, he sent me the comics. I'm looking forward to that. I just saw your links, so I was like, oh, cool, yeah. I'm looking forward to reading those.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
No, no worries, no worries.
I had to get a towel for my head, man. I'm so hot.
You know, you would think being bald would be easy, right? Like it's just like, oh, there's no hair, so you don't get as hot. But something about being bald, you get more hot. I don't know. I don't remember sweating this much when I had a full head of hair as a kid. Do you? Can you relate to that at all? Like, can you relate?
I remember having a full head of hair, but I used to hate. Oh my gosh, I used to hate it. And see, I had good hair. I had that slick, silky smooth.
Ooh.
You know, that soul glow type hair. You know what I'm saying? Just let your soul
glow. Just Eric LaSalle on the couch, just with the wet spot on the headrest. Oh, man. I had hair. Yeah. When I had hair, I looked like a really young Mark Anthony, man. If you ever just like, you should go to Google right now and type in young Mark Anthony, and you see this luxurious head of hair that he had when he was much younger. That's what I looked like when I was younger. I was like, oh, man. I still have dreams about it to this day. I still like wake up and like in the middle of the dream, I'm like, oh my God, it came back. Oh.
Yeah, see, exactly what I'm saying. I wish I had my head. But see, we bald headed, man. We bald headed.
The universe was like, you're too beautiful with hair. We have to bring you down.
Did you ever get smacked in your back of your head before?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, especially the worst is when I had just shaved that day too. So like the skin is like extra sensitive. And my brother, when I started shaving, I was still living at home, and my brother would just like come up to me and just like open hand slap the back of my head as hard as he could.
Yeah, I get that all the time.
And then the funny thing is that at the time he had a hair to hair, and now he's also bald. So I do him now as an adult. We're just like, we go visit my mom, and we'll like just be like messing around, and we'll just lead us like slapping the top of each other's head every single time we get.
Yeah, that happens all the time. Oh my God, my uncle slapped the shit. He hit hard. Yeah, that shit hurt. But
like them big hands, like them union certified hands, right? Because
my hands is big.
Yeah. Yep. I got uncles who were contractors all their lives, man, and if they were like they just tap you, and it's just you fly across the room. So they got them rough, callous, hard working hands.
Oh my God, that's my uncles, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. But anyway, so have you ever had?
Take your time, man. You're doing great. You're doing great.
No, I had to laugh because it's just, oh my God.
No worries.
So like,
we got a giggle fit happening.
Nah, because the way I'm talking, because like the way we get smacked in their head, like, come on.
Oh yeah,
man. See, y'all in the comments, y'all don't know how it feels to get smacked in your head. Sometime. I mean, Mr. Samuels know about it. He bald headed.
Oh yeah, Bobby. Should know. That Bobby absolutely knows it. Yeah, Bobby exactly. and Jeff both know it. Yep.
So, all right. So, who are the most influential and powerful people that you've worked with in the industry?
Oh my goodness. Let's see here. Influential and powerful people that I work with in the industry. Who was one that I worked with? I think I once did a project. The ESPN has a series of documentaries called 30 for 30, in which those documentaries tend to focus on the more kind of salacious kind of events that happened in sports history. And so I got to be on set when we were talking about the college basketball I guess you can call it a scam that was happening around the gambling around college basketball, like in the 80s and stuff like that. And one of the lawyers was a guy named Henry Hill. And Henry Hill is actually featured in I think it's Goodfellas, the Martin Scorsese movie. So I got to meet him, and it was like, this is the guy who got like, mobsters off from like long prison sentences and stuff like that. So that was a cool meet and greet one time. Let's see who else. Let's see. I've gotten to meet like quite a few people in my day, and one of the things I can say is that everyone I did get a chance to meet was cooler than I expected them to be too.
Right.
Like you always expect like famous people to be like, okay, yeah, you can't sit with us. Don't look at me. I want my bowl of green M&Ms. Where's my room and stuff like that. No, most of them tend to be pretty chill. So most people tend to be pretty chill. Did a PBS shoot. It was a Christmas special. Renee Fleming was the name of the artist. And she was actually okay. She was okay. So like, yeah, Gregory Porter, stuff like that, all that, lots of more singers than anything else. And then of course, yeah, like I said, Mr. Robert Samuels, the coolest dude in any room he walks into.
That I can't wait till I get to that point to where I meet all these people, meet the people that I set to meet.
Is there a comic book artist or a writer that you ever want to like meet? Like, is Alan Moore on your list there, or like Grant Morrison?
Yeah. I want to meet them too.
Yeah.
But there's this one guy that I really, 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 really want to meet. He's actually my inspiration to get my body in shape. Mr. Michael J. White, man.
Oh, Michael J. White.
Yeah.
I did get to meet him at a convention one time. He was cool.
Yeah.
I went to it was like a martial arts convention in Atlantic City. I got to meet him there. He's a cool dude.
He was in my my neck of the woods.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
New Jersey.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, cool. That's awesome. He's watching this right now. Michael J. White, you should meet.
Hold on.
You should meet this guy.
Will you finish that? Just open the door and I'm gonna come get it, right?
All right. But yeah, you say he's watching.
I was encouraging him as like, if he's watching, you guys should link up and just chat. Two guys from Jersey just talking.
Hey cousin, that's my cousin, the one that said New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Hey cousin. But yeah, man, like when it comes to being a man of your leisure, man of leisure like you are.
Yes.
Do you have those times where you feel like things have to be perfect, or do you have that time where it's like, man, just go with it, fuck it?
Both, really. There are definitely times where I've had to get something very specifically because I knew that's what the story needed, that's what the project needed, and then there are a lot of times where it's just like, okay, we're gonna figure it out as we go along. And I've said this before, but I believe very firmly that filmmaking and then artistry in general has to come from two different places at the same time. It has to come from a place of discipline and planning and forward thinking, and it also has to come from a place of adaptability and a looseness in a way, right? You gotta be able to have a plan in place, and then you gotta be able to throw that plan over your shoulder and say, okay, we're gonna do this now. And because it's like anything else, you get curveballs left and right. It could be locations, it could be talent, it could be anything, and you just have to be ready to roll with it.
Right. Your thing is echoing again.
Is it doing a weird thing again? No. Now my friends are messaging me. We try this one more.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on, everybody.
Hold on. Still echoey? Better. Is it worse? See if I can fix this. Give me a second. Let me mute myself real fast.
He's going to mute himself real quick. Check your sound. we've been having these technical issues.
I know. I think it might be this mic. I do like this mic. Do I sound better, by the way?
Yeah, you sound better. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it might be the connection to this mic. I gotta look into that, see what's going on there.
it's not a problem. It's sometimes it just you know get the robotic sounds.
I know it makes me sound like a transformer.
Transformers, but so is there anybody in the industry that you really, really want to collaborate with?
Oh my god. Anyone in the industry that I really, really want to collaborate. Basically anyone from the 8711 stunt crew out there, because that particular crew, they're a production company now. They used to just do stunt design, but now they're making their own movies. They just, with the Bullet Train and Day Shift, like I would happily want to just show up and be like, I will learn everything I can from you guys, because they're doing some incredible films lately. JJ Perry did a fantastic job on J Shift, and I love Bullet Train to death. I think it's a great movie, and everybody should go see it.
I thought you was talking about 7-Eleven, the convenience store. I was like, oh, 7-Eleven got a production company. Let me go down there. Got Yeah, man.
You get a C-stand with every hot dog that you buy. Every time you buy a piece of food from 7-Eleven, you get a piece of
Nah, man. Like, so how many years have you been? And your shit is echoing, by the way. Hold on for a second, y'all. We're just trying to get the technicalities up. You know what I'm saying? It's not on my end this time. It's on his end. Hot dog in a big coat. Hey, man, yo, when I go to 7-Eleven, I always get these Slurpees. Yo, I love these Slurpees, man. Like,
Okay.
I love you too, cousin. Love you too.
All right. How do we sound there?
You sounding good. Sounding good.
Sounding good? Okay.
Yes, sir. Hold on, hold on. Hold on. But yeah, man,
Yeah.
because as whew, this is working. Um, um, it's static in here.
Oh boy, I think that's a sign that I might have to get a new one. All right.
Hey guys, thank y'all for hanging in there with us. You know, see, this is what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? The In Your Face show is live and in color. You know what I'm saying? It's live. You get the behind the scenes. You even get the unplug. You know? You even get the unplugged. You even get the unplugged. You get the everything.
Okay, how about now?
It's cool now. It's cool.
Cool.
Up in,
Okay.
okay. So yeah. All right. So, bro, when it comes when is there a time where you feel like you have to hang them up, or is there a time? Would there be ever time where you have to hang? Yeah. Let me rephrase my question.
Nope, go for it.
Would there ever be a time where you feel that you have to hang them up? You know.
Oh boy, probably when I'm well into my retirement years, I should be like, okay,
I don't know why I asked that question.
I think I can stop doing this. Like, I mean, or maybe, there's quite a few filmmakers still going in their 70s and 80s. So it's like, maybe I just won't. Maybe it won't be as intense. Whereas, I'm making like a movie with great regularity. But it's like every couple of years, it's like, all right, I'll make it. All right, I'll do it. See what happens. Who knows? I don't. I would love to. I would love to do this until my very last day, and I probably would. But who knows how I feel about 25 30 minutes.
I don't know why I asked you that question because we don't know, you know. But hey, I mean that's what you get for that's what you get when you come on the In Your Face show. You get the unsolicited questions, the questions that the most hardest questions, and these questions, they come from off the top of the rock.
Yeah, yeah.
And they don't come from a piece of paper. I don't write them down because it's too structured when you write them down. Like, well, do you feel that come on, and it's not going to feel organic.
Yeah, yeah.
Or authentic.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm black, so I'm joking with you. Nah, man. But is there anything you would like to tell the folks, the people?
What would I like to tell people? I would encourage them to go see the movie that I've been talking about this whole time, Jugando con Fuego.
Jugando con Fuego.
There you go. Which is currently be seen at vimeo.com/on-demand/Jugando con Fuego. We'll be leaving a link probably somewhere in the comments for you to share. If you use the promo code JCF2022, you get $1 off the rental fee. Along with the movie, you get to watch a behind-the-scenes making of, directed by the great Robert Jefferson, called Behind the Bullets, is how we made the movie. So you get to see us in our element down in Tijuana, Mexico. And if you have an opportunity, feel free to subscribe to our channel, which is youtube.com/DeviantChildrenProductions.
Bang, bang. And so it's an hour and 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And I would like to talk to you after the show.
Of course.
Let me take us out right quick.
It's an hour and 12 minutes, 30 minutes of which is just me fucking around with my mic.
Well, hey, we don't even have to edit that. I don't even edit anyway. Fuck
there you go.
We just going to do the show anyway. Fuck it.
This is what streaming has done to us.
See, this is what's real good shit, But anyway, I want to say thank y'all for all the love all the happiness and all the love and all the happiness. Thank y'all for tuning in to the In Your Face show. And it is the In Your Face show.
Thank you.
And we out. Peace.